common good of the people we represent in the Village of West Jefferson. We do ask all this in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Greg and Carl. It is moved and seconded. Are there any discussion at this time? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Okay. Motion carries. The minutes of the previous meeting have been distributed. Are there any corrections to the minutes? All right, so the minutes are now approved from the previous meeting. Okay, the guest list here. Looks like we have one guest wanting to speak. Matthew, come on up.
Hello, everyone. I was here 2 weeks ago about the smell in the town, and I try to be proactive whenever possible. I only have 5 or 6 of these left, but I printed up like a form that my neighbors, I went around and whoever I could talk to, hey, here's my contact information. This is what I learned at the last council meeting. And if you try to keep track of the times, the duration, and other ways that you notice the smell happening, I was able to get a few of them back from my neighbors. So I don't know if that's information we would like to pass on. Maybe I'd send that to you. To John, great. Okay, oh, should I use this? I'm sorry. Okay, so sorry about that. So I will email it to John and then he can have that. I would like to ask if possible, it sounds like enough businesses in town are experiencing this. A ton of my neighbors are. It's as simple as using your washing machine twice and then for the next 4 hours, your bathroom smells like a protein shaker bottle you left in your car for a week, which is a horrible smell. Even on Saturday night, brushing my teeth, ready to go to bed early, and it just in the bathroom, and I smelled it. It just hit me like a train, and just a hot stench coming out of my bathroom faucet. So I would like to ask if there's any update on this process for the facility that is producing the issue for the town. And then number 2, is it possible that the town asks that organization to come to the next council meeting to give an update to the town? Because I do think it needs to be addressed in a public way. They need to explain what's happening and what they're doing. The fear that I'm hearing from my neighbors is what's gonna happen when it gets hot out, because we're already getting a rotten, rancid dairy smell, and it's 40 degrees overnight. So what's gonna happen when it's 90 degrees in the middle of the day? So, thank you.
Go ahead, Ray.
Yes, we have contact with Michael's again. It's a mixture thing. That's an excellent idea to invite them to come to council. I'll follow up with that. And I've heard you say something that kind of tweaked my ear. Are you smelling it when the water's on? Because it would not be sewer if the water.
Yeah, so the smell that we're experiencing, it is when the water's on, when it's not. Originally, when the plumbers came out to our home, the first assumption was we had a dry P-trap. The second time they came out, it was very clear that that was not the problem. It is house to house, it is a different thing. One of my neighbors that I have the information here, she's the one with the washing machine issue. My neighbor, Tim, we just were having dinner and found out that even though he lives 5 minutes away from where we're at, they've been experiencing the same problem. They just didn't connect it. We were kind of telling the stories because for them, it is more of a sewage smell. So it's a little different. It comes out of different spots. And I'm assuming part of it is just depending on how the house's plumbing is set up. One of the neighbor across the way at 711 Brookdale, their issue was after the heavy rains, their sump pump was running and then they smelled it for 3 or 4 hours out of that area. So I don't know how it works. I'm not a plumber. I don't understand it, but we're all smelling the same thing. And as far as we've been informed, the town believes it is from Michael's Foods.
Yeah, we believe it is, yeah, and then I'll follow up with trying to get them out here though. But water, if the water smells, it's not the sewer, it's the source of the water.
Yeah, and I can't even I feel like what it is the system when it's been in our house. Like this past week for us was almost perfect. Like we barely had an issue. It was a blessing. Like it was so nice to not wake up or notice that smell inside the home. But I would go outside and our front yard smelled like it because of how our bathroom vents down off the front of the house facing south. And
You
you're
have a
picking up.
manhole cover right up to the right.
So a little bit of ways, yeah. So once again, I don't know exactly how it hooks up. I just know what we're experiencing. And then the smell, as far as I can tell, is coming out of, I believe, the drain. But when your head's down there and you're by the faucet and the drain, I just don't know. But regardless, as you can imagine, it's pretty bad. I do want to say I appreciate Ray's been very open to coming out and trying to investigate on our property, so I really appreciate that. One of the fears that I had was, even though we're a smaller town, maybe the availability. So just thank you for the ability to come out and really try to help. And just if we can have somebody from the facility come, I don't think that's too much to ask. I think as a community member, they kind of owe it to the town. One of our neighbors who did turn in a paper, she's got a bunch of small birds in her home, and she's expressed concern, like, is this actually even safe for us to be in the space? Now, I'm assuming it is, but what do I know?
But if the birds die, like the coal mines, that's, yeah.
Well, exactly. So that's the thing where, like, I understand they have a business, they pay their taxes, and they've got people employed here. They're trying to make a product, but at some point in time, I would hope to think that somebody can say, you can't be doing this to the town. Like, I don't even know if I could, like, if I said, hey, we're gonna move because of it, like, you'd have to disclose this to somebody. Like, it's just a problem. So I just appreciate the seriousness this is being taken, so thank you.
Thank you for doing all you've done.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll now move on to the council committee reports. Do any committees have anything to report tonight?
You said committees.
Yes.
Okay. Prior to this meeting, we did have a employee benefits meeting, and we have decided to make a recommendation to council that will come up later.
Mr. President, can I make sure that one has the right one?
Thank you.
I don't know, can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why, I apologize. The printer skipped pages and I emailed with one corrected and I printed enough out. If you don't have one, I'll give you one right now. Does everyone have the right one?
And beyond.
Okay, I'm sorry about this.
No, that's all right. So, yes, that will come up later in the meeting, but we did make a recommendation to bring it to council.
In connection with that, there's also ordinance 26-027 setting the pay rate for the position of the building inspector. The finance committee met previous to this meeting and will recommend that as well to council.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, we'll now move on to department reports. Mayor?
Yes, I have a report. I know it might look a little silly, but this is serious and I want to get my point across. We're becoming an e-community. E-scooters, e-bikes, and in Carl's case, even e-cars. Safety is a concern that I have. We had an adult run into a vehicle this past week and they did not have a helmet on. I watched the video and knocked them out cold. And you can very easily tell that if they had a helmet on, they would not have probably been knocked out. So this is serious. Route 40 has faster traffic on it than on other streets. I told the chief sometimes I feel safe on 40, sometimes I don't, or on the sidewalk. There was a young man, there was like 5 or 6 that came down my street and I seen one young man with a helmet on. I said, hey dude, come here. First one I seen with a helmet on. I said, thanks for wearing a helmet. That's good. He says, well, I was talking with one of the police officers and they encouraged us to wear helmets. He said, somebody was throwing this away out on their sidewalk, so I grabbed it. So, I hope we're not getting rid of these helmets we're giving away. We need to use them. And I also seen a family the other day, on e-bikes. They were very cautious, looking around. Again, no helmets. And all three of the family had the same, appeared like they had the same size e-bike. So, perhaps someone littler would go faster. So the chief and I are working on something for the first Uptown Friday night, so that'll be coming. I know I look silly, but I'm safer with a helmet on. I have worn it 99.5% of the time. I will wear it 100% of the time now, especially after that. I'm glad it was not a wake-up call for me. And thank goodness the gentleman's okay, and he survived that. So remember, safety can be as simple as a choice.
You probably should wear it when you're walking too, since that car almost took you out the crosswalk.
Right, that's right, yeah. The chief will probably address this further. And also, don't forget to vote tomorrow. It's election day.
I have a question. Do the golf courses have the same laws as far as safety belts as a car?
I'll let the chief answer that question.
So there's lots of, yes, there is, and there's a lot of different things that you can look into depending on what you ride. I think what's important is to, one, identify what you're going to ride, and then seek out what that law is. We have updated our website. Thankfully, we have a great website going on where we can put that out there. There are regulations for every type of vehicle, and the safety part of it's, for the most part, up to the rider or the person that's driving the vehicle, and what if they're going to choose to wear that, whether it's seatbelt or the helmet, and make those wise choices.
But they do have to be certified.
Yeah, we have an inspection process that they can go through. Like, for instance, if somebody does get a golf cart, they can call us, and that's on the website as well. Set an appointment, and so they can go over all of that, what their particulars are, whether it's the law, if they're not familiar with it. If they're not 100% familiar with what the law is, they probably shouldn't be riding it anyway. I think they should dive in that first before they buy something. And we can help them get familiar with it. So,
Such as
Seatbelts aren't
requirements as
required in
well.
golf cart.
Such as requirements as
Are
well.
they? Seatbelts aren't required on golf carts, are they?
no.
I was gonna say, they're not.
Okay, that was, okay.
No,
thank
they're
you.
not.
Is that-
I know we don't have that,
And here's what I see kids without seatbelts in golf carts, and I go, okay, but if it's not required.
Now, Dublin area has made some laws and ordinances in their area pertaining to e-bikes and golf carts that might be something, since we're growing with more and more e-bikes and scooters and such, that we might want to look into as well. I'll leave that up to the chief though.
I did meet with the law director on some of those, on some good ideas on what, we're going to really drive, obviously, safety discussion as hard as we can. If they're not getting that at home, we're going to do our best to take every opportunity at the community events. We're working with local businesses, seeing what support they can be. They're often helpful with that as well. And we do have a good backing when it comes to that. So we're doing everything that we can on our side. And like I said, our website's going to help with a lot of information that those questions come up, whether it's if they drive a golf cart, if they have an e-bike, or if they have a scooter. Okay, why is it so easy to buy this if it's not legal? Well, you can go to Upper Arlington or somewhere different, and they can have an ordinance in place that prevents that. But it's not, illegal to purchase it, but depending on where you drive it, it could be against the law depending on how it's written.
Chief, when you navigate to the website, can you say how you would reach those regulations requirements?
Yes, so if you go to the website, and I believe that's going to be under services, you'll find that, like the services tab. Yeah.
Ray, do you have a report for John tonight?
I do, and I apologize he's not here. Construction is moving forward. We have contacted Michael Foods again, and they still trying to get the mixture and smell right. I think that was a great idea to invite Michael Foods to our next council meeting, and we'll do that. Mr. Schrump's been working hard on that, and we appreciate that. If you want me to switch to shelters, First Friday night of town is May the 15th, and as I said, the chief and I are working on something on safety for that. You have 2 papers on your desk that are passed out, and one is a thank you. There's a thank you card as well from the, I'm sorry, it's an invite to the Norwood Night of the Arts. The other one is a thank you from the Humane Society. That's what the donation made out there. It's very, very much needed and appreciated out there.
I have a question. Ray, I talked to Tammy and Cliff, who are at the end of Lincoln, right up against Greenhaven. Number one, and if this has been discussed, my apologies, but I'm unaware of it. Is Lincoln being widened?
I believe it will be. Well, I'll double check with John and get back to you, but yes, I believe it is one.
Okay. So in Tammy's driveway, they cut a big hole to install water to facilitate Greenhaven. They put a steel plate there. Is there a plan? She asked the construction guys that constructed it, I said it was up to the village. Is there a plan to fill that in and remove that steel plate, or?
Yeah, the still place not going to be there when it's finished. All the streets will be repaired to what they should be.
Will that be done when the street's being done, so the steel plate will stay there for?
That I do not know.
Okay.
And what is this? It's at the end of Lincoln, or?
It's the end of Lincoln, as it
On the
butts
left
up
as you're
against
looking
the
at
Greenhaven egress.
Tom, do you know any information about this?
I do not.
Okay, that's construction. I will get these answers and email council.
Thank you.
Director of Finance, Becky.
Yes, I wanted to thank the 2 committees that met before this meeting. I know it's always a hassle to come in early, but we need you to do that. We will probably have committee meetings again. There's a possibility we'll have committee meetings again for employee benefits and finance before the next meeting as well. Since during April, the income tax collections, we hit $1 million this year just in 1 month, so that was really good. And April's interest in our investments account was just over $28,000. Since the last meeting, the revenue items over $10,000 were just 2 from OPWC. It was our Fellows Avenue grant proceeds, which are the part of the agreement with OPWC for them to pay the construction company, and those are grant funds. And then the other half on the 30th was OPWC. It was loan proceeds. So that's the part of the 0% loan that we draw down to pay the construction company. Since the last meeting, we've had 76 receipts for $540,387, and that takes us through May 1st. The payments over $10,000. On the 24th, we paid M&J Technologies for IT hardware software, $17,266. Also on the 24th, Malcolm Group for ProMag, $14,600. On the 28th was Fillmore Construction. That was the part of the Fellows Avenue. That was the grant. OPWC paid them directly $54,958.35. And then we paid Fillmore Construction $61,726.05, which was the loan proceeds. On the 28th, we also paid the Treasurer of State for the first half SIP loan, $37,460. Since the last meeting, we paid 59 payments, totaling $363,437. That paid 71 invoices, and that was through today.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Chief of Police, Mr. Smith.
Like I mentioned earlier, we're currently working with local businesses to help partner with us to promote safety awareness at all of our events and to come up with other ways on even outside of our normal community events. Specifically with safety gear, obviously helmets and other things that could help if the family's having trouble getting things like that. We could be there to help facilitate that and make it easier, and also engage with the kids and kind of help them get past the situation if this is cool or not, if I should wear it. We generated a new program that's going to be called Safety Sprout Camp. It's much like Safety Town, and it'll help kind of catch the child at a younger age to help them develop in, what's right or wrong for this road safety and things of that nature, even if it's walking. The school's been very helpful with that partnership as well. And both detectives have been working, even considering what cases they have, they always find time to help build that and make sure that it's gonna get off its feet well. And of course, the village for helping to ensure that we have the appropriate things, whether it's, new program, establishing, making sure we have enough money to do something that's new and unexpected. National Police Week is from May 10th to the 16th. It's to honor all fallen law enforcement officers that died. That'll last up until like I said, the 16th. May 6th will be the Light Ohio Blue Caravan. If you remember, they came through West Jeff last year. We'll be going through Sunbury all the way to downtown Columbus. May 7th is the Ohio Peace Officer Memorial Ceremony right by us in London at 11 a.m. Public's invited. Help join and remember, honor them. It's a great ceremony if you can ever attend that. The officers that were killed in the line of duty in Ohio specifically was Trooper Caton, Ohio State Highway Patrol, Deputy Henderson, Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Sherrar, Mara County Sheriff's Office, and Police Officer Wagner from Lorraine Police Department. Overall traffic stops since April 20th was at 96, 57 were on Main Street, 35 developed warnings, and 22 were citations.
Thank you. Director of Development?
As you can see by tonight's agenda, the position we budgeted for last fall, we're ready to proceed with that, and that'll eliminate a position, a part-time position that we already have. Still very busy. Issued last Friday, we issued a building permit for Circle K up at the corner. Fisher Homes is development fees have been determined and they're ready to start purchasing building permits. Had a meeting last week with Amazon and their purchase of 44 Commerce. They'll start construction on the interior. So still very busy.
Thank you. Director of Information Technology?
Nothing to report.
Thank you.
The website looks good.
It does. I didn't get a chance to get on it. Yes.
All right, we have no unfinished business tonight. The next item of business is.
Resolution 26-025, authorizing the Director of Finance to transfer the funds from stale dated checks to the unclaimed monies fund.
Do I have a motion to adopt? Jen and Greg? It is moved and seconded. Are there any discussions? Good. Roll call, please, Jim.
Okay. Wagner,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Freiberger,
Yes.
Holman,
Yes.
Patterson,
Yes.
Warner.
Yes.
Mr. President, we have 6 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstaining.
Motion carries. Alright, the next item of business, is resolution 26-026. Jimmy, would you please read?
Resolution 26-026, creating the position of building inspector.
Do I have a motion to adopt? Erica? And Sam? It is moved and seconded. Are there any discussions? All right, Jimmy, roll call, please.
Wagner,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Freiberg,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Patterson,
Yes.
Warner.
Yes.
Mr. President, 6 in favor, 0 opposing, 0 abstaining.
Motion carries. All right, Jimmy, could you, please read the first reading of ordinance 26-027?
Ordinance 26-027, setting the pay rate for the position of building inspector.
All right, now, communication of clerk and council, does anyone have anything to add? Jen, go ahead.
I want to talk about an email that we received from Jeff about, I understand how you want to change how we do, when we call the errors, that's fine. In that email, it's kind of stated that minute notes are supposed to be just sort of skimmed down. I want council to vote the fact that we keep our minutes word for word. This is the way they've been for the last 2.5 years. I think that residents of the village who go in and look at the minutes have a right to see who says what, when it was said, and how it was said. I don't think they should be skimmed down. I think the residents deserve a whole text of what happened in a meeting and when. So I'm asking if we can vote as a council, whether you agree with that or whether we continue to just give summaries. But I think it needs to be word for word.
Can I expand on that?
Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
I just wanted to be clear, just I guess for everyone else, that the reason that was sent is because we're following Robert's Rules of Order, which is in our council rules, which Robert's Rule says verbatim that they're a summary of what was done, not what was said. So I just want to be clear that Jeff didn't just decide, well, we don't need to be as specific.
I didn't say that.
That's what I'm saying for,
Okay,
for those,
number one, who said we were doing Robert's Rules of Order?
the council rules that we adopted last year.
I don't even remember saying that, but
No, it's
okay.
in the council rules that we passed.
So,
Robert's Rules of Order, we had 2 lawyers here a couple years ago. They say Robert's Rules of Order is a template, basically. It gives you an idea how to do. You do not have to do word for word.
Jimmy, do you have our council rules here for chance?
I think as council, if we say we want word for word, then we should be able to give word for word.
We absolutely can. So we can bring it to a vote to change council rules so that we're not being held to that standard of Robert's rules.
my thing is, the people that aren't here, that go online to read what went on in the meeting, they just don't wanna see a discussion was had. They need to know what each council person said. That's how it was ran for 2.5 years. There wasn't a problem with that. If I say something, I want the people that voted for me, I want the village to know that I am for it or against it and why. Why are we just putting per discussion had? I mean, we all have a voice, that's why we're here. We are here to represent our area, our village. Why would we not put verbatim?
We also live stream it now too, so if anyone has the capability to go online and read whatever you're saying they're reading, they have the capability to do that too.
But what is the opposition? We had a clerk of council that had 32 hours. That person had not a problem putting verbatim. Now we have clerk of council that is working 40 hours a week. Why? Why is it a problem?
Well, we just adopted council rules at the end of last year. So we're really coming into this in a new way, realizing those rules and then holding ourselves to those rules. For instance, that's why we voted to change the mandatory requirement for training. That was so important with 2 new members coming on, so that if they couldn't make that training, they wouldn't lose their seat on council because of it. So
The
we're
two
being
new
held to
members
that.
did take it. My thing is, we have this here. I want people that can't be at this meeting to know what I said in regards to or against. I mean, I just don't, I mean, I went around and got signatures, I talked to people, I let them know. And they may not be able to come to a meeting. But if they look up the notes and go, oh, you know what, we talked about that, she really stood up for something we talked about, I appreciate that, I'm glad I voted for her. I don't know why we're opposed to not putting what we're saying.
I don't
In
think
the
anyone
notes.
said opposed, but now that we're live streaming, people have the means to listen and they can hear tone, whereas when it's in text, you know, you really can't
It's not
tell.
in text, it's in the minutes, it's actually written, it's not, I don't know, Jimmy, is there a problem with you putting verbatim? I know you said chatter and what matters, everything I say matters, everything you say, everything we say matters. I'm not just sitting here to hear myself talk.
I have a question. What was, I know we mentioned 2.5 years, what was done previous to that?
It's a,
Word to word. I mean, everything.
I mean, the last 2.5 years has been word for word.
Yeah, what was done previous to that?
I don't know, Jimmy, you did per Robert's rules verbatim, or I don't remember, I mean, that's been a while for
Been
me.
that way as long as I've been here.
Yeah, as long as I've been on council, it has been verbatim. What was said and who said what.
It'd be like Greg mentioned this, and Jeff commented this.
Yes.
I mean, it's certainly something we can, you know, any council member can get legislation put on to be voted for, so if that's what you guys would like to do, I don't think the rest of us are opposed to having that brought forward.
That's what I'm asking,
Okay,
that's all I'm asking.
Okay.
perfect.
Mr. President,
Go ahead, Jim.
there is not a council in the United States that substitutes minutes for a transcript. And if you go look at any legal body that represents, whether it's law associates or law directors, they would say the same thing. I think what Sam said is important to note, that what she has to say, she does want people to have access to that. That's no denial. And also, it has nothing to do with one clerk versus another clerk. Tish did a good job, and I have a lot of respect for her. It's not about the amount of hours, it was merely about what the standard is, what the legal standard is for minutes. That was the nature of it that was discussed between you and I. The word for word nature of it is available to people if they want to ask for public records requests and get the audio, and they can also view it. But we're changing what minutes are, if that happens.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jen. I'm sorry,
I just don't know,
President.
I mean, I don't understand why it would be a big problem. You said it's the standard, but we don't have to be just the standard. We can be above the standard. And I think the residents of West Jeff need us to be above standard. Yes, they can request the record. Yes, they can do. But why? Why, when we put it on our website, here's the minutes, there it is. Why do they have to call and say, well, I want this, hear all of it, I want to be able to hear all of it? That's not right. They should be able to go to the minutes on the website and read every minute that's pervaded.
Mr. President, man.
And Jim,
I respectfully, I understand where you're coming from. I was just merely pointing out that's a different definition for what's being done. Minutes are, according to every standard, law school, law directors, associates, clerk association, so on, Robert's Rules of Order, and the rules that this body adopted are concise, not word for word. That's the nature, it just summarizes the business. So that's all I'm pointing out. If you want a transcript, that's different. We're still required by law to do minutes. That's the Ohio Revised Code. We will have to preserve minutes, and there's a standard to preserve minutes. So I'm just trying to point out the different definitions that we're dealing with.
thank you. Don't have anything else? I just want to take a minute to recognize one of our village employees that just retired this past Friday, April Milstead. I know that she will definitely be missed by everyone that she worked with. Congratulations to her. Do I have a motion to adjourn at 7:38 p.m.? So Erica and Carl. It is moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.
Jeff, I have a question. Are you gonna ask them to do the legislation or do I need to ask?